Hi everyone, happy Halloween. I am here with just something I just created and we're going to see how it goes. It is a pick a card, actually pick a pile. Like you guys are used to me doing this sometimes with the soul connections, but what my intention is for today, because it's Halloween, because it's a full moon, I just really wanted to go with the fun theme, right? So I've got some really cute crystals here to choose from, but the cards are fun. I mean, all of this. But the theme that's intended here is, what is your person, what skeletons are hiding in their closet, okay? It really is kind of like what secrets, maybe there's things they haven't told you, things that they haven't even admitted to themselves. I don't know how this is going to come out, if it's going to be more of a channeled message or just a bunch of stuff, because there's a lot of cards. I've got 10 cards here, pre-shuffled. You guys, in the preview, as far as the video, there was a picture that you hopefully looked at and already kind of have an idea of which one you're drawn to. But with my little Gimpy setup here, I will try to show you guys real time what they look like as well. So before I do that, I want to walk through the decks, and if there's any that catch your eye or you want to know more about them, let me know, comment below, and I will post information for you. But we have the Everyday Witch Tarot, of course, which is one of my favorites. I love this one year round. It's just such a whimsical, but just cute. The artwork is amazing. We have a deck that is my newest deck. I have never used, so I don't know how, we're going to see how this goes. But it's the Ghosts and Spirits Tarot by Lisa Hunt. So very exciting. But it's a traditional tarot deck. It's got little ghosts on the back. We've got the I'm totally blanking on it. Here it is. The Ghoulish Garbs Tarot, the Major Arcana one that I just used over on Instagram, but it's also got a full moon on it. So this is also, usually if I use traditional tarot in these pick a cards, I use one, and I've got 3 here. So we're going to lay out the 3, and each one is going to have at least one Major Arcana, obviously, because of the one deck I'm using. So I think there's going to be a lot of powerful things that come out. We've got the Twin Flame Shadows by Mystic Moon. We have Angelic Revelation 144, Naked Flame Healing Messages. We have got the Heal Yourself cards, which usually are kind of dark. You can kind of see they have kind of a goth, like Halloween look to them. Wisdom of the Hidden Realms by Colette Baron Reed. We've got the Dark Mirror Oracle, which you guys know. I mean, that one I featured, I did the walkthrough video on. We've got the Halloween Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. That's, again, the one, Jack-o'-lantern, how perfect is that? That is the one I just used over on my Instagram video as well. So if you have not seen that, check it out. It was just a general message I did for the collective today from the Halloween Oracle and the Major Arcana one. And last but not least, since it's a full moon, had to include the Moonology. So this one will kind of give, I think, some guidance maybe from your higher self as far as how to, what the next steps are. We'll see. Again, I don't know how it's all going to shake out, but I'm on, this is a new tablet, so I should be able to not worry about running out of time now. Fingers crossed, it's my first time using it. So I have more storage space now. I'll be able to record longer videos, maybe do extended, things like that. So again, I will timestamp it, but what we've got for number 1 is the Obsidian Witch Hat. How cute is this? This came from Sisters of the Stone. She sells on Facebook, and she's amazing. She's absolutely, and the stuff is very reasonably priced, good quality. She ships from California, and I've never had an issue. She sells jewelry. She sells, actually, this ring, Zebra Jasper ring I got from her. Most of her stuff is under $30, unless like something like this skull was a little bit more expensive, but not outrageous. So anyway, highly recommend her if you want to check her out. So again, Obsidian Witch Hat. This guy is a trilobite fossil that some very good friends gifted to me. I think they got it probably in Alaska or somewhere. They have all these crazy places they've been out west. But he is a huge trilobite. So he, to me, represents a mummy. That's kind of why he's here today. So if you're feeling the mummy vibe, there you go. This guy is a Botswana agate skull, which again came from, I'm going to say she, because I wanted to say it's a she, not a he. This came from Sisters of the Stones as well. So number 1 is the witch hat. Number 2 is the mummy fossil. Number 3 is the skull. And so I'm going to do a pull back here so you guys can see, take a look. And again, it's a general reading. Take what resonates, toss the rest. And, there may be messages that apply to you in all three. So feel free to watch them all. All right. So, and although you guys know the drill, I shuffle off screen just to save time since I ramble enough as is. But I haven't seen these. I have no idea. So sometimes it takes me a minute to kind of just figure out my bearings and figure out what's going on. So, all right. Number one. Let's see what, number one is the witch hat. Skeletons in the closet, things that are hidden, things they want you to know. We're going to just see what comes out. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Keep getting this card. I've only used the stack like 3 times, and okay. Wow. All right. I was a little concerned with all these different cards and different decks that there would be a mesh of different, craziness, but it all comes together. Okay. So, for the most part, if you guys are watching this video, most likely it's because you're not in contact with your person. There's some sort of a separation. Again, this is soul connections, but, it could be a twin flame scenario. It could be sacred partner, soulmate, whatever it is. You may be broken up with this person. But typically there's been you've had some sort of relationship in the past, even if it never came to fruition, right? This is not just somebody, most likely, that you've met, on the street and you're like, hey, and you like them. There's some history here, right? So that's the context of where we're going. And so just keep that in mind if messages are not making sense. So, but what I'm getting is this person has taken time away to work on themselves. And the reason being, we have the Nine of Pentacles here. The Nine of Pentacles is a card about self-employment and, abundance. And just, this one, she's reading. She's got a cat on her shoulder. She's got her wine. She's like just relaxed. She's chill. She's zen. She's like reaping everything she's worked for, right? All those pentacles are on the tree. Like, it's like abundance. Okay, Nine of Pentacles is a beautiful card. So what I'm getting is, not only are they taking this time apart to work on themselves, there's an encouraging here, encouragement. I'm getting that you should be doing the same, and most likely you are doing the same. But there's assurance here that's what they're doing. They are wanting to be in a certain place in their life before they can come forward and make an offer. Ace of Cups. Let's see what the image looks like. This is the ghost one. Yeah, so it's like they're fantasizing about it, but, it hasn't happened yet, obviously, because, the masculine's here, but it's like the woman here is like is a ghost. And part of it, too, I think he's still, and again, I'm making an assumption, I'm just picking up on, in my mind, that it's a he, right? But take the gender how it resonates. We have masculine, feminine energies within us, but for the most part, 9 times out of 10, a lot of the people watching these readings, most of them are women with a masculine counterpart who has ghosted or ran away or whatever. That's typically what the messages that come out. But I feel like some of it is, he's also seeing how good you are on your own as well, and he's not feeling adequate, right? He's feeling like this is an illusion. She's this like apparition, and she's just this like not only is like she here, as far as like he's physically here and she's in another world, she's out of his league, she's in another world, but you've got this other like higher aspect up here, right, of this goddess that's like watching over them. And so I think what I'm getting to is that as each of them are working on themselves, he is being guided and drawn by this light, this etheric energy. I think, probably something that's hiding in their closet is that they are starting to have these experiences with this person's energy. And some of them I think maybe are kind of like, am I going crazy? So maybe that's something kind of that's a skeleton in their closet, and then they're trying to go about their normal day-to-day existence, and that's becoming a struggle for them because they've got this connection that they can't stop. It's like drawing them in, right? Some of it too is in addition to feeling like they're living in different worlds, right? The obsidian, the witch hats here, obsidian, is a crystal about negativity. It's like they're working to like kind of work through their issues. They don't want to bring you down because they know you're here, and if they're not ready to come in full force, if they're kind of coming in, there's not an equal existence here, right? Somebody is not ready to show up fully, to show up as more than an apparition. That's why they're staying away. They're still working on healing their ego. And ego in the sense is because the devil's here. This is, their fear. It's their fear. It's their shadows. It's the feeling not good enough. It's feeling that they're separate, that they have to be, that they're kind of like tied by these chains, like they're separate because it's like this fear that's keeping them apart. But the beautiful thing we also have is the Spirit Whisperer. This is the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms by Colette Baron Reed. The Spirit Whisperer, divine guidance, higher knowing. I feel like they're starting to close out this devil energy. The owl is here. They're opening to their heart. The heart chakra is represented by the green. And again, as I was just saying, they're being pulled by this light, by this divine guidance here. But in the interim, if you have been in touch with them at all, in spurts, I'm getting that, they've made a lot of excuses. They're still making excuses right now, but they may have made excuses to you like that they're too busy or this or this or this. They've not owned up to what's really going on. They haven't told you. Most likely, I'm guessing this is a situation where they probably haven't told you how they feel. They feel intimidated. They feel all these things, and they don't feel like they're ready to come forward, but they're not. So they just make excuses instead of saying, hey, this is like, I feel these things, but I'm working through on myself right now. And I think when that happens, for some of us who've been on this journey, because this one's really resonating with me, especially right now, if the person came in and they did reveal the truth to you about how they felt, if they told you these things, like, you wouldn't keep working towards yourself. You may actually just sit back in this energy and be like, yeah, my work's done. No, there's always more work to do. And so, I guess that's what the point I was trying to make is that there's a reason too that all this stuff has been hidden, right? Because if they came in and told you how they felt, you wouldn't keep doing that healing. You wouldn't keep working on things. And we have owls here twice at least that I'm seeing. So if that's a spirit totem for you, keep that in mind. That again represents death, transition, closing out cycles. That, and not death in like a literal sense. It's more of, hey, this is no longer serving me. I think it's the ego death. And I think this person, what you don't know, what's hiding is that they are really starting to awaken. They're starting to connect to their heart. They're starting to connect to this higher power. And that's because we've got the Spirit Whisperer, the divine guidance, higher knowing, their higher self, right? But again, you're still getting excuses in this time. And I think they're maybe still making excuses for themselves, but the message, what's really beautiful, the message that came through from the Angelic Revelation 144 cards: in my dreams, we are happily married with a family and in soul mission together. I would love for this to be a reality one day. Now, wasn't I just saying, you guys, oh my God, I just got chills. Wasn't I just saying that this is like a fantasy still to them? This Ace of Cups, this offering their love, it's still like they're dreaming about it. They're thinking about it, but they're not showing up concretely yet. They're still making excuses. They are transitioning out of this ego. I'm getting that this full moon is bringing that about. And I think the message for you and how you're mirroring each other, I think, is the self-love. You need to pour as much love as you can into yourself, into treating your body like a temple, and healing. We've got 3 cards centering around that, all right? So this Heal Yourself card is the self-love. The self-love, and it's 24, which adds up to a 6. That's about balance. So this is about maybe balancing the masculine and feminine energies, continuing to work on that. This is absolutely beautiful because she's just like in this receptive mode. And, it's actually very interesting, like I said, that this one's resonating for me because I'm in November starting, I'm doing a month long, it's kind of like it's not just a class, it's kind of like a coaching program too, to like get into the sacred feminine, and it's belly dancing lessons, and it's meditations, and it's just opening up that sacred feminine energy and being receptive, right? So even if you don't do something like that, if you can just work on, getting into that flow, that surrender, that place where you're just, in that goddess energy. That's the self-love, the self-care, working with essential oils even, or taking salt baths, doing yoga, those types of things. So we've got the self-love, the temple of my body, right? So this is the mirror one. So I think, if there's any issues with addictions, I think that's something that's being, do you guys, that's so crazy. I don't know if you guys see the rainbow that was just kind of on the top of this card. I don't know where, there it goes. That's so cool. Anyway, this is kind of a dark card though. And, the fact that we've got these owls, we've got the devil, which that could also represent addictions. So there could be, this nudge, this urge to start taking better care of yourself. So and again, the moon message that came out was a time for healing. So, keep focusing on that self-love, that self-care. And I think, what they want you to know, and also I think what they know deep down, they are seeing kind of like, they're about, I'm getting like, I heard like breaking dawn, like the dark night, this devil energy, they're starting to really like be drawn out of that, right? The dawn, the light after the darkness. This is the Halloween Oracle, by the way. And look at this beautiful owl. And there's a lot of green here as well. It's like they're taking flight away. I'm picking up on this as like, this is an awakening card. It's like, whew. And I feel like what I'm picking up on with this group is, and I don't usually like to make predictions because, again, the energy, I could pull this, a spread tomorrow and get a completely different message. But for those of you this is resonating, you keep doing your work, working on yourself. I feel like this person absolutely has intentions to come back at some point. Now, when, that's a divine timing, our favorite word, right? There's still the excuses there. The devil's still here. But the more that you surrender and don't try to force things, and you flow and you focus on the self-love, the self-care, your own, 9 of Pentacles, being self-sustaining and independent, happy with yourself, honoring your body, honoring your journey. It's like, it's a matter of time that, you've got somebody here, obviously, who, even if they've not shared it, is dreaming about coming forward, and everything I'm seeing here indicates that that's going to happen. But what you, as the viewer, I want you to understand is, the more that you tap into this and you keep doing this and you keep, this beautiful self-care, this healing, your vibration is going to attract in someone, even if it's not the same person you're thinking of, okay? So that is a beautiful message for number 1. Congratulations, number 1. All right, number 2. If you chose the mummy fossil guy, how cute is he? He's just pretty cool. All right. Trying to see what comes out for number 2. Put it over there. interesting. I'm getting a lot of the same cards coming out. Wow. Wow, 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 you guys. I have never seen that moon card before. The skeleton in the closet. I'm getting, I mean, this person's living like a false life. We've got masquerade here. And what's interesting to me, I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm trying to make sure I'm looking at this correctly because I haven't seen this card before. But I swear this looks like there's devil horns up there. I mean, there's like feathers and stuff, but it looks like right there, like there's horns. Like the masquerade, like he doesn't have a mask on his face, but he's kind of like this victim mode, like, but there's like these, like he's like all this like pretty and shiny, but then it's, I don't know. I'm getting kind of first I was getting a vibe of similar to number one, you know, where this person is like thinking about you and they are, but I'm getting like this is a wolf in sheep's clothes. That's the term that just came out. Just look at this. Self-indulgent. It's like it was all about them. But I think, you know, the skeleton in the closet is that they're hiding, I think, is maybe, you know, they've been able to hide somewhat of their true intentions. Or maybe you were confused as to, you know, why they behaved a certain way, or if they really were like this, you know, is it like really they're just not revealing, like there's a question maybe of like, if it was toxic, you know, are you blaming yourself, if that makes sense? Are you blaming yourself, or is it really them? And I think like what's hiding here, well, we'll get to that in a minute, but I get that I feel like they were controlling. I feel like maybe they made themselves the victim. The message that we got from this is, my life has felt so fucking pointless without you, and I have suicidal thoughts. I know that I need to learn how to love myself and forgive myself, but I'm struggling to get past my mistakes. So this is kind of like a message from their higher self, where it's like, you know, obviously if somebody's having suicidal thoughts, they might not be mentally stable, and this is not a judging statement or anything like that. It's just, this is like, you know, some kind of dark energy here. I know I need to learn how to love myself and forgive myself, but I'm struggling to get past my mistakes. So they're definitely not in a good mindset. I feel like, again, they're controlling, they're self-indulgent, they're wearing some sort of false mask. The tarot that we got, and the reason that I just wanted to go to the other ones first, that way, because the first card that came out was Ace of Pentacles. We got Ace of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles, and the Chariot. I feel like, to me, this means maybe they moved on really quickly from you after you guys broke up, or maybe there was just, it's kind of like, because the Ace of Pentacles is like a new beginning physically, like, yep, I found someone, like, I went and plucked, like, you know, and like this cat sitting here, like licking, it's like it just had its meal. It's like Four of Pentacles, meanwhile, you know, is, I'm getting, it's a scarcity mindset type thing, but I feel like it's left, whatever happened, like they move on really fast, because we've got the Chariot and the Ace of Pentacles, right? And this masquerade, you know, you might have been like, oh my God, why wasn't I enough, right? I wasn't enough. I was left out, like drained. I feel like maybe they drained your soul. Like there might have been a narcissist element here. Again, I'm not trying to, like, just a general reading. These are the things that are coming out, but there's these skeletons here. They may have drained you financially. They may have drained you emotionally. In every way they will drain you, right? So that's why this is here. And it's like they drained you to the point where there was nothing left, and so they went and found a new pinnacle somewhere else quickly. And and the masquerade here is that, you know, you're thinking, oh my God, like I wasn't enough, and it's not that you weren't enough, it's that they have these issues, okay? But I feel like in some ways, like this is going to help you. This, you know, the message you need to know is this is going to help you discover your life purpose. That's what we have here with this Heal Yourself. Like, it's really spurned kind of maybe, you know, at some point they drained you, but maybe at some point you're like, you know what, from now on, I'm going to set boundaries, and I'm not going to let this person back in. I'm not going to do this. Like, even if they came to you and said, my life has been so pointless, I've had suicidal thoughts, you know that maybe is a game. It doesn't mean that they're not really, you know, that they don't need help and they're not really thinking of self-harm. But if somebody is wearing that mask, if they just drain you, move on to the next, and they're controlling and they're self-indulgent and it's all about them, chances are that's just a ploy to try to like get you back and say, feel sorry for me, let me back in, you know, that type of thing. That's the vibe I'm getting. It's like, this is like finally, you know, the future. I think like you've got to pull the veil off. And this is crazy too, because I think this one just came out in my Instagram video that I just did. But it's like pulling off the veil. It's like recognizing the truth, right? The truth of this situation. You know, I think what they're hiding is that they're hiding. It's a facade. And the skeleton in the closet is like, this is who they are. Like I said, like the wolf in sheep clothing, you maybe didn't want to believe the worst in them, and maybe you blamed yourself somewhat for them moving on, or if you weren't enough or whatever. And I'm telling you right now, that's not the case. I'm getting a very negative vibe from this person. But whatever this is, like I said, I think it's going to help you discover your life purpose and discover, it's like maybe spurning an awakening for you. Right. But the advice what really just threw me off when I saw some of this, I was like, well, I don't know. Then put it all together was the moon advice. Nothing will come of this situation. I've never seen this card. I mean, I don't use this deck all the time, but I have never seen this. Nothing will come of this situation. Void of course moon. Now, I am not familiar with this term as far as, you know, astrology and moon cycles and those types of things. So you might want to look this up and see what it says. Void of course moon. Void - course. Void of course means it doesn't have a course. It doesn't have a path. It doesn't have a future. It doesn't have progress, right? That's what I'm getting, is this person is not, even despite what they might say, my life is pointless without you. I have suicidal thoughts. I know I need to learn to love myself and forgive myself. I'm struggling to get past my mistakes. It's like they're in this repetitive cycle of control, self-indulgence, you know, some things going on, this masquerade, this devil horns, whatever it is. They may recognize that they have these issues, okay? You know, I've been in a relationship with a narcissist, and they, you know, it was hard because it's like he would say, I know I have issues, or I know I have this, but then nothing would ever come of it. They wouldn't actually go forward and take the healing, right? We didn't, like in the number one, it was clear that both parties were working on themselves. We got the self-love card, we got a healing card, we got, you know, 9 of Pentacles, just a lot of that positive energy, that the separation was due to that. Here I'm getting, again, somebody was drained, they moved on quickly. You need to get out of this, the scarcity mindset of feeling like you weren't enough, and awaken to your life purpose. Maybe you're going to, you know, help people overcome these types of relationships. Maybe it is leading you to want to write a book about it. Maybe it's made you awaken and you know, started getting into some more healing modalities or things like that. So look at it as a positive. I know it's hard, and I've been there. So, you know, again, the information will be, I didn't mention this earlier, is down below if you do want to schedule a session with me to look at your personal situation, to talk about some different ways that you can heal and move on from this. So, if you chose number 2 and this resonates, I'm sorry, because I know this is a painful message to hear. Nothing will come of the situation, but at the same time, that's like the skeleton they're hiding in the closet, is that they have nothing to offer, and they're not working on themselves, and they're not going to progress and change. So, anyway, I know that's hard, but I hope that message was enlightening and did help you. All right, so number 3, last but not least, is the beautiful skull. I think it's Botswana agate. Just absolutely so powerful, so beautiful. So number 3, what do we have here? Actually, it might help if I grab the right pile, huh? Okay. Ooh. Okay, so this one could be a surprise. This one could be the skeleton. So the 8 of Pentacles is here. This could be a situation where maybe you were thinking it was like a situation like number 1, like somebody's away. They're, for me, the 8 of Pentacles is kind of like the studying. They're like away at school, like they're working on themselves. They're learning new things. They're getting it, to me, it's, again, you're working towards that 9, you're working towards that 10, working towards something. And like once that happened, once they're done, kind of going through the cycle of working through and growing and ascending and awakening, they're going to come forward with communication, which is 8 of Wands. You've got the 8-8, right? The infinity. But it's like there's this cycle kind of where nothing's really happening. It's like, or if you do hear from them, there's nothing of substance, right? There's never like a time to make plans or like anything like that. The Tower is here, and we also have, this is from the deck that's just the major arcana, okay? The Tower, I think what's hiding, the skeleton hiding in the closet, is that they're, and maybe you aren't aware that they are in a karmic situation. You either are aware of it and think it's not that serious, or you weren't aware, because we have the Tower here, and we have the Lady of Lightning, which is surprises, sometimes shock, total paradigm shift. So that, to me, that these are like kind of double Tower cards. A surprise, a shock. Okay. Their message to you is, there is someone else in my life who I love. It is not the same as the connection we share. I don't want to hurt anyone, and I don't want to lead you on. And so this is making them uncomfortable. This is hidden, right? They're hiding behind this cloak. Like, their person obviously doesn't know about you. They maybe haven't want to tell you that they don't want to lead you on, and maybe that's why there's not much substance in the communication. Like, they haven't had the courage to like cut it off, or to tell you, hey, I'm with somebody, but yet they don't want to lead you on. So that's why, like, they're not like making plans or like texting you the way they used to, if that makes any sense. We've got the Say What You Mean from the Heal Yourself. So they're not, what they're they're not being forthcoming in the communication with you when they are communicating. And the underworld is here too, and that's like the skeleton, right? That's like the skull, the underworld, where all things pause and begin again. So to me, the underworld also is like this dark place. It's like they're not living in above board. Is that the term, how that goes? They're not, on the up and up. They're not saying what they mean to you and probably not to this person. And here, you've thought maybe things are working, they're working on themselves, or they're away. Maybe they've made excuses about work or this or that. And, the Eight of Wands normally is like a communication, like I said, with this being the ghosts and spirits tarot. It's like not, there's nothing concrete coming in, right? And so this Tower is that they maybe haven't had the courage to tell you that they are with someone else. And again, it's not the same as the connection they have with you, but for what, and maybe, again, just backtracking, the Eight of Pentacles, to me also is a card about lessons. It's about learning. This may just be what they need to do right now to learn their lessons. And so this is time for you to work on yourself and your journey, okay? What else we have coming forth is I won't cry for you. And emotions are running high, and it with the supermoon. I don't know if tonight is a supermoon. I know it's a blue moon, and obviously it's Halloween, but emotions are running high. I won't cry for you. This is, I think, the message that I'm getting is, this card, I believe, this is from the Dark Mirrors. I think this is about, moving on and basically saying, like, I'm not going to cry over you anymore. I'm not going to stress about this anymore. This, to me, I'm getting is a strong message about facing this Tower moment, facing this truth that they've been dishonest with you, that they do have someone else. At least, that's what's coming clear. Again, if this is resonating, unfortunately, they may not feel the same way, but they're not saying what they mean. What they're hiding is that they're with someone and they have feelings for you. And so the question I think you have to say is, like, would you really cry over someone who is not authentic, someone who is not in their true, state where they're speaking, would you want somebody who's not healed and who's not honest and who's not doing these things, right? So this, to me, is about facing the emotions and purging it. And this full moon is a great time to do it. I would highly recommend, especially, no matter what this is, but if this is a total shock to you, write a letter to this person and burn it. And also, I'm getting, do some heart chakra work. If you can get some Apache tears or malachite. And I would also, if there's any ways, because a lot of times people mirror, we're mirroring situations in life. It doesn't have to be like in a romantic or a twin flame or whatever relationship, just day-to-day living, you have this aspect of mirroring, right? So if this person isn't saying what they mean, they're not being authentic, they're not being truthful to you or to their person, in what ways are you not showing up for yourself? In what ways are you deceiving yourself? Is there something in your life that you do want to study, that you do want to pursue, and you've not been doing it? Perhaps this Tower moment is a wake-up call to shift you into a new focus, right? To use this pain in a creative manner. A Tower moments can be epiphanies. A lot of times, as much as they hurt, you do, once you work through it and you look at the greater perspective, you are able to grow from it, to learn from it, and to ascend and to get to a different level than you have before, and to come out on the top, right? But this is about you being true to you. This is about purging emotions and just getting, that's like the biggest advice I have for you, again, because this person is not saying what they mean. And even if they do have feelings for you, they are with someone else right now. So unfortunately, but again, if you'd like to look into your specific situation, that information is down below. So I hope you guys have a beautiful, wonderful Halloween, and no matter which one, that you chose or which resonated, for you, I would highly suggest doing some burning tonight with this full moon, and look into just any kind of sacred ceremony. There's no right or wrong way to do things. That's what you've got to know. Just trust spirit, trust your guidance, and if you feel like you want to write something and burn it, great. If you feel like you just really want to sit down and write from your heart and maybe keep it in a journal, you can do that, or put it on an altar, or maybe create your own altar and just meditate in front of it. Whatever is calling for you, just honor that, and honor and show up for yourself. So take care, guys. Till next time.